Kobbie Mainoo is in things. Meanwhile, Ineos has got a massive green light while there is a big threat coming through from Germany. Welcome to the United Hot Sport. My name is Webb. As we do wait on to the decision that we are about to get concerning the manager Erik ten Hag, well, this might be the last video I drop before the confirmation of whether or not Erik ten Hag is staying. I'm sure this week that started today, being a Sunday, is the week we'll get to know whether or not Erik ten Hag will remain Man United manager or not. But there is a beautiful update that has just come through. I'm wrapping up the news concerning Manchester United today. Like, share, and subscribe as we do get proper into this talk because it's hot, hotter than the sun indeed. Well, first of all, Ineos or Sir Jim Ratcliffe has been given the green light to plan to have both of his entities play in Europe next season, as both OGC and Manchester United have been allowed to proceed and play in Europe according to UEFA. Remember, they had given him just a week to put together a convincing explanation as to why they should be given the green light, and whatever they did put ahead was logical, and indeed the green light has been given. So there won't be any concerns about that. Now, maybe the next thing to be done is for them to sort themselves internally, the two clubs, to sort themselves and decide whether or not Todibo will cross from one side from France to come and join Manchester United. He's definitely a top target for Manchester United. Now, away from that, Bruno Fernandes is seriously wanted by Bayern Munich and Barcelona. I've said this several times before, and people were attacking me for it, but this story is beginning to look real because, as it is, I told you that most likely, if Erik ten Hag is to leave Manchester United, Bruno will want to go. So the reality is, Bayern Munich, with their new manager Vincent Kompany, do want to look to listen to what exactly is going on with Bruno, and they have expressed serious interest in him. Ineos, remember, did say they would be willing to listen to any good offer for even Bruno Fernandes. The only players they wouldn't want to listen to offers for were Kobbie Mainoo, Alejandro Garnacho, and Rasmus Højlund. But Bruno is also not an untouchable, despite being our best player of the season. Now, of course, the reason probably that is so is because they look at him as Erik ten Hag's trusted guy, and if they choose to go beyond to part ways with Erik ten Hag, he will be, I think, surplus to requirements, I think, in their view. But also, the age to them, the 29 going 30 is not an advantage on his side. So that is the reason why Ineos are still open to the idea of listening to a good offer for Bruno Fernandes. Moving on, all Man United news today. Congratulations, Kobbie Mainoo. Kobbie Mainoo voted the best player of the month of May for Manchester United. Well, obvious reasons you can know. But most importantly, he is about to land a mega contract. Kobbie is about to land a mega contract for himself. He is expected to sign a new contract that will have his wages quadrupled. He's currently earning just about £20,000 per week. The talk is he could be earning at least 60,000 quid, but with interesting add-on options, of course, in the contract. So he might be earning 60,000, but depending on appearances, depending on performances, where United reaches, and all that, the money will be increasing. So interesting stuff there for Kobbie Mainoo. I think he has earned everything. And guys, people have been trying to talk to people because we need to now start looking ahead, of course, as Manchester United, as the rebuilding phase is going on. Which players should we look at and look at as the future leaders of this club? Because competitive clubs always need good leadership, and people underestimate the importance of having a good captain. I think Man United has struggled for so long to get the right captain since Roy Keane to captain a big institution. You ask us, even at Arsenal, they have always struggled for a long time without the right captain, the right leadership. You need to have the right leadership. It's so important among the players. So Manchester United are looking within. Of course, they are saying, in the event that, of course, and know that Bruno will not be playing at the top for the next 5 years or thereabouts. So for a club planning a future project like this, a long-term project, they will be looking within and thinking, who are we going to prepare to become the next leader of this team? Now, I've said it here before in one of my old videos. I told you, for me, Kobbie is proper captain's material. He's proper captain material. You listen to how he speaks, you listen to his character and personality on the pitch. Even at his age, even before he was 19, He was already on the pitch, playing a few games, but instructing his colleagues on how to move and which positions to go. Not shy to also contribute and direct his senior teammates on where to go on the pitch. Already in the junior ranks, he was captaining Man United. He was captain of England's under 18 before he was even 18. So it shows you that there is a leader in him, and he's that leader he's a leader who's going to lead by example. I feel for me he's the right player for us to build this whole captains and leadership thing on. Now, so Kobbie is increasingly becoming, setting himself apart from the rest of the United players. And the way Ineos views Kobbie is he's the kind of player they will look at to build the team. Now, when you're building a team, the reason you need to pick a player or a couple of players, but usually you want to have one and then you build the entire team around them. Now, the reason you need to single out a player of a few group of players to build the team around is it will guide you on which players you sign. Right now, as we go into a summer transfer window, Kobbie Mainoo might be one of, if not our most important player. And you may not understand that, but if you know football, you would understand that if we are going to sign players 25 years and younger, these are players to support the rebuild. We need to identify who is going to be the player we are building the team around. Now, the player you build the team around will define which profiles of players you sign. Because there are players who obviously cannot fit into, however good they are, cannot fit in a team that has got Kobbie Mainoo. They will be there. So if you're going to sign players and you've agreed that you're going to build the team around Kobbie, then you've got to sign players who are able to shine playing in a team that has got Kobbie. That he founds the foundation, and then these other players will then fit into his foundation. It's very important. It's very important if you're building a team, if you're building a strong team, you need to identify the bull. I would call it the bull's eye. Now, what's the bull's eye? In Man United, in terms of players, our bull's eye, is it Garnacho? Is it Højlund? Or is it Kobbie? For me, it has got to be Kobbie. Because Kobbie is the kind of player who is selfless, can make everyone around him good. And he's so young, so he's certainly there for the greater good. Of course, given depending on how things go in the next few days when we hear about the manager, because that will matter as well. Very important, by the way. But if we are going to build the team around Højlund, for example, if we change and say we want to build the team around Højlund, then we need to sign players who are going to make Højlund, who are going to fit into Højlund, make him the best striker I can be. We can also say we are building the team around 3 players. But building the team around is not you have these 3 players and add on so many other players. No. Building the team is you have a player on whom you're basing to define the profiles of which players you're bringing in. That's why I think it is smarter you have one. If you have Garnacho, Højlund, and Kobbie, and you're clustering them and you're saying we are building around these 3, then when you're signing, are you going to sign based on Garnacho? Because Garnacho's style is totally different from Kobbie's style, different from Højlund's style, yet they are all good, important players for the project. So pick out one main player. You saw already these ones have played with him. Then sign players who can as well fit into him, but also boost the entire unit that you're building around the kid. So it's a very technical, and these are things that Jason Wilcox, Dan Ashworth are meant to do. That's why Ineos brought them in, to come up with these solutions. And that's why I say this is a critical phase that Man United is going through. I think it's very important. I think it just sort of focuses more on the role that Kobbie has in where we're headed. That's why I was saying earlier on that for me, if I look at a player like Michael Olise and Kudus, if I look at us building around Kobbie, I actually think probably Kobbie would make Kudus better. I'm not sure he would make Michael Olise. Or I'm not sure Michael Olise would flourish with Kobbie. Of course, again, I may be wrong. This is my opinion. I may be wrong. But I look at the 2 players and their styles and how Kobbie loves to drift going forward in his free role. But then at times he gets caught coming back because it's not him in his instinct. With Kudus, you probably see a player who can cover him up. I mean, all these are details technically you need to look at when you're going into the summer transfer window to decide which players you bring on. So for me, I like the fact that Kobbie now is, I mean, ends the season, our best player in the last month of the season, and then he's about to sign his big contract. We've known about this for a long time. It's a thing of here we go now. For me, it's it's good to see. So that's where we are. That's a bit of the wrap up of which news is coming out of Manchester United today. But most important thing, the latest one, is the fact that United has been given the green light, together with Manchester City, by the way, to play in Europe with their affiliate clubs. Something that was reportedly not acceptable according to the UEFA rules before. My name is Webb. This is the United of Sport. We are counting down to the official pronouncement of the managerial situation at Manchester United. I'll catch you later, fam.